There is no light bulb moment. There is no eureka. There is no aha. If you're waiting for that flash of lightning, that flash of genius to come to you to tell you that this product is fully baked and ready to deliver to customers, well, I hate to break it to you, there is no light bulb moment, because entrepreneurship is a gradual process that moves from a vision, some broad abstract idea, to something concrete that you can actually deliver to customers through an initiative. Now, there is a process, a method that we can rely on to do that effectively, and it's the power of design. Not design thinking. I'll cover that in another video. It's largely based on an article published in the Academy of Management Review by Berglund, Bousfiha, and Mansoori. I'll put a link to the article in my notes, and I strongly encourage you to check it out. But watch for the next few minutes and you'll understand how to move from abstract to concrete. Where did this light bulb moment idea even originate from? Well, it's kind of obvious if you think about it. When we approach entrepreneurship, we're in a state of darkness. We're navigating uncertainty, ambiguity. We're doing things that people have never done before. And so if you were to bring light to that situation, you're going to remove the darkness. You're going to make it easier for us to all see and to understand and to have clarity of thought. That is the light bulb moment. But the funny thing is, sometimes when we talk about a light bulb in entrepreneurship, we're also referencing Thomas Edison and the famous invention of a light bulb. But the funny thing about that is, we know that Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he actually invented the light bulb. So his process was a process of iteration. It was from an idea to something concrete that took time. Now, I know you go on a walk, you take a shower, and you have these moments, these aha moments where your subconscious mind is solving something that your conscious mind couldn't. And those are ahas, those are epiphanies, and they are helpful, but they're not fully baked, and you need to make artifacts out of those so that you can get feedback and move your idea forward. In order to move your idea forward, we need to turn to something like design. What is design? Design is something that's part of the man-made world that's constructed or created. It's not natural. When you think about design, you think about its purpose, its character, and its environment. And it's the connection that design makes between inner and outer systems. And so we do this all through creating artifacts. And so in entrepreneurship, we can do the same thing by using a set of artifacts, things like writing emails, Google Slides, surveys, MVPs, prototypes. We make something that was once abstract much more real. Let me walk you through it. So you come to me and you say, hey, I got this really great idea for a new type of mouse. And I'm like, wow, that sounds exciting. What have you done? What have you learned? Tell me a little bit more about it. And right away, you're confronted with the challenge of having to have had created some artifacts. So instead of just voicing, hey, I got this idea for a new mouse, you could start by writing it down. Write down the details of what you think this new vision is, and you can send it in an email. And now you can start to get feedback from that artifact. That's a real basic level beginning. But you could improve upon that by simply adding visuals. Maybe you mock up some designs of what this mouse could look like, how it might have a different setup in terms of buttons and a scroll feature. Now I can again have closer understanding of what you're saying because I see this in artifact that helps you interface with the user and get feedback. But we can go even further. We can take this idea that we've put it in email. Maybe now we've put it in a Google Doc with some sort of visual of what we think it looks like. Well, now you could start to tell me about things that are already known about the mouse. And what do I mean by known? Well, the funny thing about entrepreneurship is that we are navigating uncertainty and ambiguity. And one of the best ways to do it, strangely, is telling us everything that's actually already known about the topic. Where did the mouse originate for? How is it different for a PC user versus a Mac user? What are some of the known problems that people have with a mouse? What are some of the known things that people are looking for? Maybe you find it on Reddit forums. You capture all these things that are known about the idea that you're pursuing, and you could create more slides. So slide 1 might have your vision and your idea and your solution. Start to create some slides on the problems that are known that people have with this device that's used with computers. And then you continue to build out more knowledge for us. What are other ways that you could add more knowledge about what is known about the incredible mouse? Well, you could tell us about other competitors in the space. Who's out there already building unique types of devices that can substitute for this one? Maybe there's someone that's already created what you wanted to create, or almost, but they're missing one key element. All of this helps to give us more knowledge about what's known about the topic and leaves you the opportunity to tell us where the gap is. So you have all these slides that are now telling us the vision, what's known about the mouse, and how your idea might be different than others. This is a great time to start getting feedback. And then what do you do with that feedback? You create yet another artifact that you can put again in your slide deck. Here's what I've learned from customers as I've gone out and engaged with them on how they use a mouse, on their feedback on what I've created. You might decide to launch a survey. It helps you reach a broader set of people. And now, again, you're creating artifacts that you can capture and put in your presentation. But you know what? You're beyond presentations now. You want to create a website. You want to spread this idea further out. Yet another artifact that allows you to reach a broader audience, have people engage with your product or your idea in new ways, and again, get more and more feedback. Remember, we started with this very simple idea that you wanted to create a new type of mouse. And when you initially came to me, you said, hey, I have this idea. And I thought, oh, that's nice. But now, look at the difference. You've collected so many artifacts. We have a sense of what you want to create. We have a sense of what's known about this and other devices that are out there, known problems, known solutions. You've gotten feedback from customers. Your idea that was once very abstract is starting to look much more concrete. This is the power of iteration with artifacts and the power of design. What's neat here about what you've done is that now you've captured all this information and you've moved from an abstract idea to something that's much more concrete, which means you've reduced the psychological distance that I have to experience as I think about the product that you're trying to put out in the world. Imagine this. Imagine you tell me that you're trying to land a spaceship on the moon. Well, I'd be like, wow, that seems crazy, particularly maybe before it was done. But instead, if you don't just throw that idea out there, but you say, well, you know what? We actually have, aviation has made a lot of great strides and we've made it to near space. I'd be like, okay, now it sounds more believable. And then you say, oh, well, actually I've done a number of missions where we've gotten really close to the moon, but then had to turn back. Again, now the idea becomes more concrete. So when you dream up wild ideas, which I encourage you to do, you want to bring them back down to earth by giving us concrete artifacts that we can react to and understand and follow along with your vision. That's the power of design. And when you use something like design or other entrepreneurial methods, you don't need a light bulb moment. You don't need the luck of your subconscious mind somehow discovering a solution, because you're creating it, you're building it, and you're imagining it, and you're artifacting it all along the way. I hope this inspires you to get started. Do me a favor, open Google Slides and create a couple slides about your idea right now. Tell us what's known. Tell us what your vision is, and feel free to share it in the comments. You might get some feedback and you might find some co-creators.